Hello, Tony Walker here. Got a little video for you. There was a flashlight that I reviewed probably maybe back in February or so, and it was a 4.7's Bluetooth Quark Smart flashlight. The actual model number was a 4.7's QSL-X, I believe. Well, you know, as you saw in the video, it was a very smart flashlight connected to your smartphone via Bluetooth, and you could program the modes and all sorts of different things. Well, as cool as it was, it ended up not really being for me. It was kind of buggy. The flashlight didn't always do what I expected it to do. And then kind of one of the main things is that the flashlight only worked with certain batteries. I don't know exactly if that was a testing problem or whatever. So anyway, the 4.7's QSL-X smart Bluetooth flashlight, is cool as an idea as it is. After the novelty wore off, I stopped using it. So the great folks at Going Gear, where I got that flashlight, I emailed them and you know, just explained it, and I was still within the return time frame, and so I wanted to exchange it for one of these. Now what this is, and this just come in the mail today. This is an Olight S10R Baton II rechargeable single cell LED everyday carry rechargeable flashlight. Now it may look familiar because in the EDC world it is a pretty popular flashlight. It's one of the top sellers on Going Gear's website, but also I actually reviewed a flashlight almost similar to this, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years ago, somewhere in there. And it was actually the prior generation to this flashlight. And I really like that flashlight, but as a lot of my YouTube videos have explained, it's kind of a routine of buying and selling. And so I had one that was the first generation model of this, still called the S10R Baton. Basically, it looked like the exact same thing, except for a few differences that I'll point out. So if you're not a super flashlight fanatic, but you say, well, you know, Tony, you've talked about that flashlight before. Sorta, I have, but not this particular second generation model. A few little differences on the outside, and then upgraded light output as far as the LED goes. Show you the box. S10R II Baton, 500 lumens on high, 168 hours on moonlight, throw of 105 meters. You can see the applications: camping, emergency, keep around the house, work on stuff, tools. I'll let you see that. Well, it's kind of reflecting off the computer, but assuming you can make that out, if you care to read that, you can pause it and read that if you'd like. Okay, so the flashlight. You know, when I really had high hopes for that Bluetooth flashlight. You know, the idea of a flashlight connecting to your smartphone is as crazy as that sounds. I guess it was a little bit over my head. You know, sometimes you just want a flashlight to come on, and you know, when a flashlight has so many features, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. If I had the option of, you know, keeping two lights, then, you know, that would have been fine. But I returned that one and exchanged it for this one, because for all practical purposes, what I would be more likely to use on a day-to-day basis would be this. If for no other reason, you know, if you get this out of the video, I would rather have an easily rechargeable flashlight than one that has its own smartphone app that is not rechargeable or easily rechargeable. So, you know, it comes out of the box. You've got some instructions right there. And I'll just give you a rundown of what that says. Output on high, 500 lumens for 4 minutes, and then it drops down to 300 lumens for 45 minutes. I assume just to keep it from overheating. On medium, it's 100 lumens for 3 hours and 20 minutes. On low, it is 5 lumens for 48 hours. And on moonlight, which is half of a lumen, 168 hours, and that test was performed with one RCR123A battery, which is included in the flashlight. Show you that. 3.7 volt rechargeable flashlight. Okay. As far as physical differences, and there may be others, because I don't really keep up with flashlights as much as I used to. As far as I know, the only difference between this and the previous model, this one has the blue coating on the this part, and then also on the side switch has a blue coating. And they say that the side button has been redesigned, I think. I'm not exactly sure how so, but I think the intention was to keep it from being accidentally turned on. Clip reversible, you can pop the clip off, turn it around the other way. I will leave it this way with this one, and the first generation I had, I left it the same way as well. One feature on this, don't know that I have a way to easily demonstrate it, but on the end right here is magnetic. This is a, well, I know one way I can demonstrate it. It is a magnetic base. So here's some metal, and you can see. So you say, well, Tony, well, what would be the purpose of having a flashlight that has a magnet on the end? For example, you're working on your car, or you keep this in your dash, which probably isn't the best idea with a rechargeable battery. But you know, let's say that you're working on your car, you pop the hood. What you can do, let's say we're working on the car this way, you pop the hood up, and you know, here's the hood like this, and the engine right here. You can turn on the light and magnetically attach it to the hood of the car, and it'll point down. You know, the power goes out, you can stick this on the side of the refrigerator and have light, you know, going out through the living room. But other than that, it looks pretty much the same as the other one. The difference, I believe, between this and the last one, and this is just off the top of my head, not really keeping up with flashlights the last couple years, really, all that much. The prior model of this was 400 lumens, and this is now upgraded up to 500. Has a Cree XP-L HD CW, which I assume is cool white, LED. Waterproof, IPX7 rating, and a 10 hertz strobe. I believe I'm reading that correctly. Okay, so how does the flashlight actually work? Okay, if the flashlight is off, what I can do is I can press it one time and it will come on in the mode that it was turned off on. So, see, it's always returning in that same mode. Now, what I can do, when the flashlight is on, I can hold the light, hold the side switch down, and it'll go up through the modes. Low, medium, high, low, medium, high, and wherever I let go is where that would stay on. Okay, let go in medium, it'll stay on medium. If I turn it off and turn the flashlight back on, it will come back on in medium. So, very predictable. Okay, if the flashlight is on, a double click will get to strobe. So, if the flashlight is on, double click will get to strobe. If the flashlight is off, what options do I have there? I can hold it down and it will go into moonlight. So you can see, you know, even as sensitive as a camera can be sometimes, half a lumen may look bright, you know, looking at it like this, but you know, it's just barely making some light. So perfect, you know, for going through the house in the middle of the night without waking people up. While it is in moonlight, I can turn it off, turn it on, and it will come back on in moonlight. If the flashlight is off, I can hold it down for a couple of seconds, moonlight, back off, and that means that it is locked out. I can do all the clicking I want to, it's not going to come back on. How do I get out of the lockout mode? Just keep holding it down, and it'll come back on moonlight. Now, if the light is on, a double click, if the light is on, a double click will get to strobe. If the light is off, a double click will get to high. So, there we go. So let's say I want to get to low. It's going to come back on in the last mode it was on. So if I want to ramp up, you know, without blinding someone, the best thing to do is just hold it down so it'll come in on moonlight. There's moon. There's low. Half a lumen up to 5 lumens. If I hold it down again, it's going to go to medium 100 lumens. And if I want to get to the top of the light's level, 500 lumens, hold it down again. And there it is on high. Turn it off. Turn it back on. It's going to come on high. Turn it off. Hold it down, and it's going to come on in moonlight. So, and just in case you're wondering, there's the little graph telling you how to get to the different modes. So, moonlight, low, medium, high, and strobe. I've never on a flashlight used strobe, or, I've never on a flashlight used beacon or SOS or anything like that. The strobe comes in handy. For example, my wife is in Walmart. Me and the kids are in the parking lot sitting and waiting. My wife comes out the door and says, "Where are you?" I can go like this. And she will, see that across the parking lot. So strobe does come in handy, you know, even just for signaling someone. And the other thing that I like in a flashlight is a very low mode, a moonlight mode. One other thing that I like about this light is on medium, 5 lumens is good, you know, in the dark. If the light was hanging about right here, I could see and read what I'm looking at, but sometimes that runs out. It isn't quite enough. One thing I like about this light, it says on the medium mode, which is 100 lumen, and I don't know if that's a steady 100 lumens and then dying, or 100 lumens for so long and then slowly dies. I'm not exactly sure. If I had to guess, it's probably more like that. But I'm just guessing. I don't know for sure. I'll find out. The next time that I go in my building in the evening and study at my building at home where I don't have any electricity, I'm looking forward to trying this out on medium mode and see if it really is 100 lumens for, you know, 3 hours. That'd be a good test for it. 500 lumens is, you know, way too bright and the light would get way too hot. 5 lumens is okay, but, you know, after 10 minutes of that, your eyes are going to start hurting a little bit from straining. But 100 lumens for 3 hours, If it's true as advertised, that will be perfect. Now, the other great thing about this light is it is easily rechargeable. You don't have to remove the batteries and put them in a charger and then take them off the charger and put them back in the battery. It comes, oh yeah, here's a little lanyard, which I won't use. But it is nice that they include a lanyard, and look at that. They even put a little needle on the end of the lanyard. That way you can, if you wanted to, you could thread it through there very easily. So that's a nice touch, just to show you that they are thinking about how to make the light usable as easily as possible. And the recharger. So what you do, I know you probably don't need me to explain this to you, but there's your charging dock. You plug it in. There we go. Plug it in. Plug this in into a USB something, a computer. If you've got a phone charger, you can plug it into there. On this side, it even has an extra port, so you know you could charge the flashlight and your phone or something at the same time. And you know, while this is sitting and plugged in, you just plop it on here, and the light will come on. I'm not sure if it's steady or blinks, but I am pretty sure that somewhere along the way it will go from green to red when it's finished. I think I read that somewhere. So it's got a little light indicator for the battery charging status. And as you can see, the magnet is very strong. See, it's not gonna go anywhere. And the battery is charged. It came with a good charge on it, but in the middle of the side switch there's a little clear piece in the plastic, and when the battery gets low, I'm not exactly sure what they call low, it'll turn red, you know, just to know that just to let you know that the battery is getting low and it's time for a recharge. So every so often, you know, maybe a couple times a year, someone will ask me, you know, Tony, what's a good flashlight to get? And they're not really talking about a $5 flashlight from Walmart, but they're also not talking about a $500 from Surefire that a policeman or Navy SEAL would have on their AR-15 or rifle or whatever. What is a good flashlight, a little bit better, you know, than something you'd find at your average department store? Just a good flashlight I can use. And this is what I always say. If you want something that's pocket size, get the S10R. If you want something a little bit bigger, but still something very compact, go with the S30R. The S30R would be, you know, maybe about that long. Pretty much the same size around, maybe a tad bit bigger, but the battery is twice as long as this battery. And it puts out, I think the last time I saw, maybe 1,000 lumens or 1,040, somewhere in that range, and it's a bunch of light. So this is the Olight S10R Baton II Rechargeable EDC flashlight. Perfect flashlight for someone who's wanting to get into the hobby, or if you're just needing a good flashlight, or if you bought a 4.7's Quark smart flashlight and it was a little bit smarter than you are, as in my case, or not functioning as it should, or just the flashlight had a few bugs in it, whatever, and you just want to trade it for something. Maybe this flashlight does not come with its own Bluetooth controlled smartphone app, but lacking that, it's a very dependable, pocket-friendly, pocket-size, easily rechargeable with just enough modes flashlight. So thanks for watching. Check out the other videos as you have time. Knives, flashlights, pocket knives, EDC stuff, gear bags, notebooks, ink pens, all sorts of various things that may strike your fancy, as well as the Bible reviews. And if you will, check out the sermon reviews also. Hope to have a few of those uploaded in the next few weeks. Preached 2 times this past week at a local church, and this coming Sunday, actually tomorrow, tomorrow morning I will be preaching at another church on Sunday morning and Sunday evening. Don't have video for those, but hopefully the audio that I've recorded on my phone will be well enough that, you know, I can upload it here for people to listen and hopefully enjoy. So take care. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.